Fred the porter is always hard at work at Carloney Station. He is friends with James Clifford and Misty, and always chats with them during his free time. The station would be a strange place without him. He's like part of the furniture. One afternoon, Misty was shunting James Clifford's coaches when she heard Fred talking to Baron Starkey. "I cannot believe this day has come. After all these years, a new chapter opens," he said. Baron Starkey sighed gently. "You have been a great asset to this station, but today I hereby relieve you from your duties. You are no longer a porter at Carloney," he revealed. Misty was flabbergasted at what she overheard. "Fred has been sacked! Baron Starkey has sacked him!" she cried in shock. Fred returned to the farm to speak to his beloved cow Dahlia. "Tomorrow is going to be a strange day. Being a porter is the only job I've ever known. Guess I must pull myself together and prepare for the changes that the rising sun shall bring," he confided. That evening in the sheds, Misty waited until everyone returned before delivering the shocking news. "You must have misheard," declared James Clifford. "No, I did not. Each word spoken was crystal clear," argued Misty. Peggy entered the conversation. "It does make sense. Baron Starkey has been making changes," she reminded. James Clifford had a face of fury. "Well, this time he has gone too far. We must support Fred and show our displeasure of his actions," he announced. "What do you have in mind?" asked Misty. "Tomorrow we strike," he said strongly. "When our drivers arrive in the morning, we refuse to move, and will do so until Fred is reinstated." Misty liked the idea, but Peggy wasn't happy. "I will do no such thing. It will damage the railway." "I'm not sitting in these sheds all day," agreed Lyndon. "The miners need me," added Gunther. James Clifford stood his ground. "Well, if you traitors want to betray Fred, then go ahead. Me and Misty are not moving." Sure enough, the next morning they didn't. No matter how hard their drivers tried, the two engines would not budge. Peggy was very cross. "I understand your loyalty to a friend, but you're letting your passengers down," she scolded. Before long, Baron Starkey arrived at the sheds. "What's all this?" he demanded. "My and Misty are on strike, and will not move until you reconsider your dastardly decision," he told. Baron Starkey was confused. "What have I done to upset you so much?" he asked. James Clifford refused to give a straight answer. "You don't need us to explain your corrupt decisions. Take back what you did, and we will work," he bartered. With no idea of what was going on, Baron Starkey had no choice but to cancel the floor train, and Peggy had to pull the red Highland. The miller had been let down, and she was very angry. Meanwhile,
Gunther had to do the shunting.
"Traitor! Backstabber! Selfish, selfish engine!"
shouted James Clifford. Lyndon pulled his train. He was glad to leave the dire atmosphere that consumed the yard. Later that day, Baron Starkey cancelled the Red Highlands evening train so that Peggy could take the slate to the harbour. Eventually, Lyndon's work was finished, and he was rested for the night. As usual, James Clifford couldn't hold his tongue.
"Once Peggy returns, all the traitors will be home."
"Stop calling us that!" snapped Lyndon.
"But you are. You've betrayed Fred. You're a traitor." "I would rather be a traitor than rust in a scrapyard. On my old railway, I was sick with no one to cover my trains. Those who relied on me didn't wait, so sought transport elsewhere, and as a result, my line closed. Your passengers could do the same," he warned. Not another word was spoken. The next morning, Baron Starkey arrived very early. "This cannot go on. If I have offended you, then I need to know why,"
he pleaded. James Clifford remained tight-lipped, but Misty grew tired of remaining silent. "I heard what you did. You sacked Fred. He was our friend and worked very hard," she told him. Surprisingly, Baron Starkey laughed.
"Excuse me,"
he said, and abruptly left the yard.
"Hiding his face in shame,"
assumed James Clifford. A few minutes later, he returned with a smartly dressed man in a suit. The engines recognized him instantly. "Fred, is that you?" gasped Misty.
"It is indeed. My days as a porter are no more. I've been promoted to a clerk at the station. It's a very important job, you know. I manage the timetables, the ticket sales, and many other things. It also pays more than my old job,"
he told them. The engines could not believe it, and felt quite foolish. "I thought you were sacked. I overheard."
"What you heard, my dear friend, was correct, and I appreciate the loyalty. I had cold feet, so as a joke, Baron Starkey did sack me, relieved me of my former duties, so I could start my new job," he replied. Lyndon was struggling not to laugh, but Baron Starkey now had his say. "I respect that you stuck up for your friend, but you did so without knowing the facts. Without a railway, you serve no purpose. Blunt, but it's true. So you must not call your friends horrid names, because they tried to keep things running. If you ever have a concern, speak to me," he ordered. Both engines apologized endlessly. That day, everyone returned to their duties and pulled their rightful trains. When he had a break, Fred came out to say hello to the engines. Thankfully, he wasn't stuck inside the office all day. "Isn't it great that things are back to normal?" gloated Misty. James Clifford sighed. "Indeed, the other engines are our friends, and did keep some things running. But they're still traitors."
Misty said nothing and returned to work.